guys, I'm happy to say, as soon as this stream is over, I am officially all caught up to where I want to be for this channel. And everything from here on out is going to feel more current, rather than more so retro and catching up. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I am here live with my WWE Elimination Chamber 2020 live review. This took place about 20 days ago, back on March 8th, 2020, at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Just about 5 hours east of me, pretty much. This was the week before Raw was supposed to be live here in Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, that was the first Raw that took place in the Performance Center since all the whole quarantine and stuff happened with this coronavirus going on. Which, again, I continue to say, my prayers and my, support to all you out there. Hope you are all staying strong, staying healthy. As, again, this is tough times right now, as I keep saying. But we will get through this. Let's talk about this pay-per-view. Here's the thing about Elimination Chamber. For the most part, I would say the right people went over in this chamber. The right people won as supposed to be. I'll give it that. But to me, this was still a very, very pointless pay-per-view. Really, only one match had implications on WrestleMania. Everything else, most of it could have just been matches that happened on like Raw or SmackDown. This was, to me, again, I gave it the grade I did because, again, at least the people who should have gone over went over. But other than that, this is a very skippable show. I wouldn't say it was awful. I didn't hate it. But it was pointless. It didn't need to happen. But it was one of the shows where I could watch it one time and be like, okay, I saw it. We had these decent matches. Not much to really, remember from the show. Not really. So, it was definitely a disappointing show. Nothing really that great about it. But it was a very predictable, you didn't have to watch the show, basically. But again, as I said, the reason why I gave it the grade I did is because the right people did go over. So we got Tyler in live chat again. Didn't like the show as I see. He's not happy about Shayna Baszler going over as well. Which, once again, that's your opinion, man. That's fine. But we'll talk about the show. Not much to really say because this show really was kind of pointless, I said. But let's just get right to it. We had a pre-show match I did not watch. Apparently it was the Viking Raiders. They took on a team of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. And the Viking Raiders won. Do you care? Not really. I mean, I completely forgot, actually, that Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins were even a thing. These were the guys who did win the Raw Tag Titles at WrestleMania last year. But on a pre-show. But once again, completely forgot they even existed. So, that's all I gotta say. This match happened, and the Viking Raiders won. So, this didn't have any point to it. But this first match, I would say, was definitely my favorite match of this show. This was definitely match of the night. Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. So, obviously, Drew Gulak was from Philadelphia. And Daniel Bryan, as we've heard in some interviews, is, at this point in his career, very open to helping create new stars. And I think him working with Drew Gulak was a great idea. I definitely was a fan of Drew Gulak on 205 Live. I always constantly put him over. Constantly say him as someone I think really benefited from Triple H writing 205 Live. Because for a while, since he got moved to SmackDown, to me, he just looked like exactly what Vince wanted him to be when he was writing 205 Live at first. But I think this thing with him and Daniel Bryan, I'm digging it. It's given Drew Gulak something to do. He's looking pretty good, I shall say. And this match was awesome. The story behind this is Drew Gulak thinks he sees holes in Daniel Bryan's game. And he thinks he knows how to, outdo Daniel Bryan. He tried to get the coach Heath Slater and Curtis Axel and a few others, but it did not work. So finally Bryan's like, hey, if you think you know me well enough, why don't you step in the ring with me and show me what you can do? And my gosh, again, not only was this match great, it was tough to watch. Because Drew Gulak did some maneuvers on Daniel Bryan that scared me. Especially with Bryan, having having a history of neck and concussion issues and whatnot. He did some type of a German suplex or something like that, and Bryan had a nasty landing on his head. 2 or 3 times I would say Bryan landed on his head pretty badly. That I'm just I was just sitting there kind of cringing at this, being worried about this, but still, it was just awesome. Gulak countered a lot of Bryan's moves, which played really well into the story and putting him over. I would say if he didn't win this match, Bryan got him to pass out to his yes lock submission. But he did put up a great fight. Again, he did make it look like he knew how to work with Daniel Bryan. And again, just hats off to Daniel Bryan just for not only want to do what's right for him at this stage of his career, but for also to helping put over stars in their career as well. Especially when he was a heel last year, he wanted to put over that big baby face at WrestleMania, and he did that with Kofi Kingston. Now he's getting ready to face Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, even though we'll talk about Sami Zayn in a little bit because of his role on this show. But definitely my match tonight. Again, this was very good. I definitely put over Drew Gulak, and now Bryan and Gulak kind of continued being somewhat of a team, saying that I may have beaten you, but you were right. You found holes in my game. You countered me a lot, so I'm willing to learn still if you're willing to teach. So put over Drew Gulak, and it's giving him something to do. I like it. I think it's definitely worth it. I still think it was a little weird, though, having Gulak win an opportunity for Bryan, though, on SmackDown this past weekend. Honestly, why not give Gulak the opportunity? I mean, I love Daniel Bryan. Always been my favorite of all time, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Gulak get the opportunity, unless if that happens after WrestleMania, if Bryan does not beat Sami Zayn, which there is a chance, but again, we'll talk about the liberator of the liberator Sami Zayn, whatever the heck you want to call him now. The drill sergeant, Sami Zayn. Whatever you want to call that loudmouth talking idiot at this point. When we get there. But, excellent match to open up the show again. Personally, my match of the night. We had that. The second match was actually a pretty good match. Andrade Cien Almas, the United States Champion, taking on Humberto Carrillo. Yes, this is the third pay-per-view in the row they had a match on a pay-per-view. Well, the first two were on the pre-show. This one actually did make the main card. Not sure why this feud continued, but to their credit, though, I would say this was their best match. This was a really good match. You can tell Carrillo working with someone like Andrade, he has improved. The first few matches they had, I mean, yes, I've always been a Carrillo fan. I've been a fan of him ever since he made his 205 Live debut and put on a great performance against Buddy Murphy. I see it. This guy has a lot of potential for sure. Definitely underrated and definitely overlooked. But I did feel his first few matches with Andrade weren't really knocking it out of the ballpark with me. This one I thought, though, was pretty good. Again, we've seen it how many times, but it was still very good. I thought maybe we were going to see Carrillo. I thought maybe we were going to see Carrillo actually win the U.S. title here, but it did not happen. But I still thought he put on a good show, and I'll give him the credit for that. Again, he did good. Andrade did good as well. I think Andrade's had a pretty solid run so far on the main roster, and I liked the run they've given him as U.S. champion also as well. So, again, hats off. Good match. But then I felt the show started to dip a little bit, as I enjoyed part of this next match, but I didn't enjoy the last portion of it. We had this. Now, here's the thing. Originally, it looked like we were going to be getting a number one contenders match for, at the time, the Fiend's Universal Championship, which most likely would have been won by Roman Reigns. Because remember, right before the last the last SmackDown before Super Showdown, not Chad Gable, Sheamus stated that he's moving on to bigger things. he wants to be in the Rat Trap. He's announcing his entrance into the Elimination Chamber. He's the only person who ever did, because that match got canceled. You want to know why? Because they took the title off of The Fiend and put it on Goldberg. And instead of actually having Roman earn that title opportunity, he just walked out and said, hey, I'm next, and earned an opportunity. But again, that match is not happening now at Mania, so it's all up in smokes. So, WWE could at least do the Chamber match for Roman to qualify and become number one contender, but we still had this match, which I thought, not against it, but I wasn't expecting it to knock out of the park either. This is a 6-man tag team elimination chamber match. It was the tag team champions, Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. I am digging that chant, but they took on the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Big E, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, Lucha House Parties, Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik, who I thought were kind of unsung heroes of this match. They looked pretty good in this match, taking on Heavy Machinery's Taki and Otis, and the team of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. The ones who started off this match was the New Day and the Usos. Okay, then the Lucha House Party entered, and I thought they had some pretty good spots. They had some jumps off the top of the pods. My favorite spot of the match was still whenever Lince Dorado climbed onto, it was hanging from the top of the chamber, and did a freaking shooting star press from the top of the cage down to everybody else. I thought that was a sick looking spot for sure. Like, the first half of this match I thought was pretty fun. Miz and Morrison, hey, hey, ho, ho, was the 14th to enter, and then Heavy Machinery came in, and it went roughshod there. Another one of my favorite spots also was when Tucker Knight, did a senton off of the top of the cage. That was an awesome spot. A man at his size doing a senton? I was not thinking that. Like, get him in the ring. At this point, I'm like, hey, get him in the ring with, like, Keith Lee or Dijakovic. See what he can do. That's pretty sick, man. But then, of course, the Lucha House Party had their fun spots, but then they were the first team to get eliminated as, they got eliminated. But also, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, were eyeing up, Heavy Machinery as you know, again, this whole feud with Otis and, Dolph Ziggler over Mandy Rose. So they finally entered the match, and yeah, Otis got his hands on Dolph a couple times, but he didn't, like, brutally attack him as I expected. The most I remember him doing before he got eliminated was just dropping Dolph, like, neck first on top of the ropes. I'm just like, that's it? Like, Otis, like, aren't you upset that this guy stole your girl? Like, you should be, like, tearing him to shreds. Like, what Dolph did to Otis to cause him to basically have, like, that big meltdown on SmackDown, showing off those pictures of him and Mandy, and just whacking him with the chairs, while also Miz and Morrison getting whacked with the chairs. Like, that's what I was kind of hoping to see in this match. But then they had this weird spot also where Otis went to kind of, like, you know, just run over Dolph like a freight train. Instead, Dolph got out of the way. Otis just went running through a pod, and the plexiglass broke, and he actually fell outside the cage. But of course, Tucker Knight tried to take out Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode 2-on-1. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, as they would pin them to get the win. And I think a lot of people were kind of thinking that they should just put the belts on Ziggler and Roode. I mean, I love having Morrison and Miz as champions, but for storyline's sake, right now, maybe better to put the belts on Roode and Ziggler. I mean, again, originally, Roode and Ziggler were supposed to face New Day back at TLC for the tag titles. I thought maybe that's when they were going to do it, but then Roode got suspended for violating the wellness policy, which is why that may have happened. That could have happened. We may have seen, you know, Heavy Machinery win the tag titles at WrestleMania, maybe. Who knows? But we're going to be getting Dolph and Otis at Mania. But as Mandy said, don't fight over me. But after they got eliminated, though, that's when I kind of stopped caring. Because after that, we then had Ziggler Root get eliminated by the Usos. And then it came down to the New Day, the Usos, and Miz and Morrison. At that point, to me, it was pretty obvious. Like, okay, I think Miz and Morrison are going to win. And that's what happened eventually. The New Day got eliminated by Miz and Morrison. And then the Usos got eliminated by Miz and Morrison. I don't know. It was still just... It was alright. I mean, I didn't expect this match to suck. But I didn't expect it to blow me out of the water either. And that's how I felt. But it was decent to solid, I would say. Nothing too memorable, but it's just like, it's kind of pointless because Miz and Morrison are going to be facing New Day and Usos anyways and Mania in very lazy booking because once again they had them just attack them during a match and that's how you get a triple threat. It's like, are these freaking heels stupid as the fact that okay, I get involved in the match, it's going to obviously cost them and they're going to be facing both of us. Like, has this happened to Miz how many times already? It's like, really, like, how stupid can you be? But so this was alright. It wasn't again, I enjoyed the first half. I probably enjoyed this match up until Heavy Machinery were eliminated from the match. Then that's when I stopped caring. Let me see here. It was a worst chamber match. It beats December Dismember, he said. People were leaving in the main event. That should have the number one contenders chamber match for the Universal Championship for sure. There's nothing to do for Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. I mean, again, working with Gulak and putting people over right now is fine by me. Sami has Enzo go away heat. Oh, for sure. He can't stand Sami. Mania should be postponed for sure. Yes, we've said that how many times, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately, Tyler. The next match was a no DQ match between Aleister Black and AJ Styles. Change the graphics here first off. Slight disappointment of this match. It was a weird match. First off, I think it's shown to continue that AJ Styles is apparently working hurt right now, which is definitely kind of affecting him. And kind of also how I'm not really expecting much from him and Taker at Mania for sure. I guess, I mean, I like the physicality in the match the best it could, and Aleister winning was the right move to do, but I guess the part that I found very weird was, why was Gallows and Anderson out there and they literally just stood there and did nothing during this entire match until like right at the very end when it just set up for Taker to appear and get rid of them and choke slam AJ and basically help Aleister win the match. That black mask though he hit on AJ and AJ sold it like a freaking champ though. I thought that was awesome, but it was a physical match, but it was still weird. I just felt again AJ just didn't look his best. Again, he is working hurt right now, so that might be why. So I do think these guys can put on a better match than what they did. And again, the whole thing with Gallows and Anderson being out there, but they basically almost did absolutely like nothing. I thought that was odd. But Aleister won, which definitely should have. Last I knew, he was supposed to be going on to face Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, but now I heard Lashley's been quarantined, so I don't know what the heck's going to happen now. And AJ's facing Undertaker, who got involved in this match and also won a stupid trophy at Super Showdown. Like, again, I'm not expecting much from it. Again, like, I'm sure if it was a few years ago, yes, I think it would be great, but I don't see it. I'm not feeling Taker and AJ, unfortunately. And if the storylines has been super weird with AJ cutting promos talking about Undertaker's wife, telling him to keep going back, that stuff with Taker and the Tiger last week, and all that stuff about them also making fun of his pants, saying he's wearing maternity pants or whatnot. I'm just like, ugh. It's all Vince scripted crap. My gosh, it's just stupid. I'm not a fan of it, but Aleister won this match, which is, all I asked for. Next up was a Raw Tag Title match. It was a rematch for the Raw Tag Titles between the Street Profits and then the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, and one of his disciples, Buddy Murphy. I saw them have better matches. I thought the match whenever the Street Profits won the tag titles was their best match. This, to me, obviously just was flat. This was bland. It was boring. I don't know. It just didn't really do much for me. Again, I thought their match on Raw when they won the tag titles was their best one. But to me, nothing much memorable that I could really remember from this match. I mean, I think AOP and then the Viking Raiders probably at some point got involved. Oh, no. Kevin Owens, I think, came down and was eating popcorn just to distract Seth Rollins. Again, just continuing to drag out. And credit where credit is due. The match with Owens and Rollins, I think, could be pretty good at WrestleMania. The the promo that Rollins cut on Owens last week on Raw, I thought was great, but again, it's just they've dragged it on for way too long. It's just super pointless. And then this match, again, I just didn't really care for it all. It was whatever. Street Profits won, as you know they should have. Match number 7. All right, this one was dumb. This one I'm going to rant on a little bit. Braun Strowman, the Intercontinental Champion. Now apparently he's also get these hands off Twitter Strowman because he bashed people on the Indies and basically pulled a Seth Rollins on Twitter, and now he's getting Seth Rollins heat now because of that. He was supposed to take on Shinsuke Nakamura in a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. But then he said one little thing during the contract sign. All of a sudden, Sami Zayn's like, "Oh my gosh, he said he'll face as many people as one. Let's make it a 3-on-1 handicap match." And without any consent from anybody else, out of the blue, it's a 3-on-1 handicap match. And it was so stupid because Vince McMahon freaking ruined all of these guys. Shinsuke Nakamura, who the heck is he now? Cesaro, who the heck is he now? Even though he should have been main eventing years ago by now, it's just literally just a freaking jobber. And then there's Sami Zayn, who literally was one of the most beloved superstars ever in NXT. You bring him to the main roster, you do nothing with him, you turn him heel, which I was for when they did it, but instead, again, you've literally made him to the latest Enzo Amore. Just some guy holding a title to keep it warm, and he literally just runs his mouth. I mean, he's definitely a much better in-ring performer than Enzo Amore, that's for sure, but you even toned him down the ring. And my question is why was Nakamura and Cesaro not even wanting their chance to get the hands on a title as well? Like, Nakamura never got his rematch. Cesaro, for crying out loud, hasn't been a singles champion since he was U.S. champion when he first came to the main roster? Like, why were they okay with just handing the title to Sami Zayn, who didn't have a freaking wrestling match since, September? When he first started pairing up with Nakamura? Like, how did he earn this? Then there's Braun Strowman again, who gets ripped off again. How can I take him seriously? WWE's dropped the ball with him. There's no reason to care anymore. And now Sami Zayn's going to have a match with Daniel Bryan for the IC title at WrestleMania, which could be good. But with how bad they booked Sami Zayn, he's not a wrestler anymore. He's a joke. How am I going to expect this match with Bryan and Zayn to be any good if the fact he hasn't wrestled in months and he's just a freaking... I'm sure Vince just loves it when Sammy's, running away and tripping over and falling over because that just makes it laugh to death. It's so stupid. This was stupid. This was absolutely stupid to do. Like, why? What was even putting the IC title on Braun in the first place? Rumors were months ago, whenever they first started to distinguish Sami and Shinsuke, that was supposed to be Sami and Shinsuke at WrestleMania. Like, okay, but again, I didn't trust him to get there, and I still don't think Sami Zayn's worthy of being a singles champion for WrestleMania. I mean, yes, he's been overdue to be a singles champion, yes, but it's too late. It's like Braun Strowman. It's too late. You dropped the ball with him. You think we want to see this Sami Zayn be Intercontinental Champion? No. Gosh, it's just so dumb. It's just so ridiculous what they've done to all four of these guys. All four of these guys should be major stars for sure. Instead, Braun Strowman's a guy that they just protect like crazy, yet when they give him to the moment he's supposed to capitalize, he doesn't capitalize. Sami Zayn is just literally a jobber who just runs his mouth just to get his butt kicked and then thrown into dumpsters. Cesaro, freaking tag team specialist, that should be. And Nakamura, I don't even know what the heck to say about him. So Sami Zayn wins the IC title. This was getting so stupid. Then we get to our main event. It's a 6-woman Elimination Chamber match. The winner faces Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. It's Natalya, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Shayna Baszler, and Asuka. How much depth in this match? You have Ruby Riott, who obviously has a ton of potential, who just came back. You have Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, which what are they going to do? Natalya, who hasn't had any direction in how long. Asuka has some juice. And then Shayna Baszler, who's the obvious winner for this match. And I was fine with Shayna winning this. It's just one, you barely did anything involved in the chamber for this match. And two, it was basically like you could have made this just like a 6-pack elimination match or something like that. There was no stipulation needed for this match. Yes, the right move was made to have Shayna come out and just dominate everybody. Because again, would you really want to see any of these women face Becky at WrestleMania? I mean, we've already seen Becky and Natalya. I don't think Liv or Sarah would have done anything. We've already seen Becky and Asuka. Maybe Ruby, but again, Ruby was not built up. She jobbed out to Shayna as well. And again, I am fine with Shayna winning this. I like the storyline with Becky and Shayna. But again, yes, she dominated. She eliminated everybody. She won this match. But again, what was the point of this being a chamber match? This didn't need to be a chamber match. It could have been just like an elimination match. Just like a 5-way elimination match. Or 6-pack challenge elimination match. That's all it needed to be. Not this stupid elimination chamber stuff that just literally made it weak. Jeez, oh man, it was dumb. But like I said, I gave this show. Well, that's going to be it for this review, guys. Again, not much really to say about the show. Again, it was pointless, but I still gave it a C+ because right people went over. Not everything was horrible, but it was just nothing special really. It was predictable. Gave it a C+. What I got to say about here? What do we got here? AJ's turn face. It was like when Vince won the ECW title. Was this handicap match? Oh yeah, that was stupid back in 2007 with him, Umaga, and Shane against Bobby Lashley. This is a 20-minute burial. I mean, to me, all the women in that match were definitely directionless anyway, so you would really expect any of them to have a serious program with Becky or than Shayna, but who knows. I gave this, again, I would probably give this show like a C-, but I gave it a C+ because at least the right people went over. And I did like what they did with with the U.S. title match. I liked my favorite match for sure was Bryan and Gulak. But then the chamber match was a little inconsistent, but it was all right. I'm glad Alistair went over, but I still thought the match was odd. Didn't care for the Raw tag title match, or again, I thought the IC title match was stupid. And the chamber match, yeah, the right person went over, I thought, but once again, it shouldn't have been a chamber match. But guys, we've done it. I've done it. I am all caught up now with everything since returning back to YouTube. So, my plan for this week, besides the typical reviews, definitely do a WrestleMania preview predictions. I'm most likely going to be home for WrestleMania, so maybe I'll do some live reactions during the show to some of the matches. We'll see. Depends on how it looks. Definitely a WrestleMania review next weekend after Night 2. I'll review both nights on the same night. Again, only card predictions I have coming up that I want to do is for NXT UK TakeOver Dublin. And then, again, the first special stream at some point I'm going to do is my 2019 End of the Year Awards video to give my picks for the best and the worst from 2019 in the WWE. And, of course, also AEW is going to be included in the picks as well for that. But, yeah, guys, that's my review. We're all caught up. Thank you, guys, for all your patience. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything tomorrow. I might just take a day to myself because, again, I kind of need it. But we'll see. What are your thoughts on this show, guys? Again, for Elimination Chamber, did you think it was pointless as well? Again, gave it a C+. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure to always slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheMayor93. And also make sure to check out my WrestleMania documentary as well. Found in the description box down below. Make sure to also check out my Dark Side of the Ring Chris Benoit review as well of that documentary as well. Again, if you have not been able to view it, it should still be available free on YouTube from Vice. Definitely check it out. I mean, it's definitely a traumatizing, hard to watch show, but to me, it's very much worth it. But it's very eye-opening as well. But that's gonna do it, guys. I'll check it out. I will see you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, have a great rest of your weekend as well. Peace out, everybody.